19-year-old college student vanishes without trace.
There's no doubt in my mind that something bad has happened here.
It's a family's worst nightmare come true.
Remember, we love you and we miss you.
Words really can't describe the way that you feel.
Surveillance video could blow the case wide open.
If we can get good images out of this, we might save her life.
Has Katie Poyer's disappearance been caught on camera?
My God, look at that.
May 26, 1999. Moose Lake, Minnesota. 19-year-old college student Katie Poyer is working the graveyard shift at a gas station convenience store on the outskirts of town.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Her friend Kathy Hannock, who works at the sandwich shop next door, stops by before her shift ends.
A nice person. And
we would just talk about men, men in general, husbands, boyfriends.
so I'm very excited. Are you work tomorrow?
It was always fun to hang out together at work.
Excellent. Improving on the job.
Normally I'll close up and hang out next door for a while and chit-chat.
My husband's making me dinner tonight.
Are you serious?
It's very exciting.
That's awesome, right?
Kathy only stays a few minutes.
Yeah, of course.
And like, Katie, I can't stay tonight. My husband made me dinner.
Okay, love. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we just said goodbye.
See you later. Good night.
Veteran Moose Lake Police Chief Dale Heaton is on night patrol.
My brother was a police officer. My son is a state trooper, so it's kind of a family thing. I checked out there at the convenience store to see how she was doing because she was working alone, and I knew that.
Good evening, young lady.
She was very far from town, a full mile from town or any neighboring businesses.
I'm super good. How are you?
You been busy tonight?
Kind of, but I've been able to sip on some coffee and go over my notes.
Get your homework done.
Getting my homework done. How?
She was a vivacious, very attractive girl.
Well, you try and stay awake in there.
I will.
All right?
It'll be fine.
All right.
She was her usual cheerful, outgoing self. And I said, I'll see you later, and I just drove on.
Around midnight, a customer enters the store to pay for gas. Inside, she notices something strange. There's no clerk on duty. And near the cash register, she sees a pile of money and a collection of notes. Written by other patrons, the notes explain that with no one on duty, they've left money for their gas on the counter. But this customer doesn't put her money down and leave. She's alarmed enough to call 911.
About 12:20 in the morning, I received a call from dispatch that the convenience store out by the freeway was open for business. Lights were on, customers were in the store, but there did not appear to be an attendant on duty. She just would not leave her post. I know she would not.
The chief questions the customer who called 911 and looks at the notes.
Which ones did you touch?
It's clear from the pile of cash that Katie's been gone for some time.
I'm just going to take a quick look around. You wait here, all right? Thank you.
And I thought possibly she had been injured or something in some other parts of the premises. I checked the interior of the store looking for Katie, but I did not find her.
Katie is gone, but she's left something behind.
Katie's purse and car keys were intact behind the counter.
Over a mile from town, police know it's unlikely Katie would go anywhere by foot. The discovery is an instant red flag. Next, Chief Heaton looks for Katie's car in the parking lot.
Her private vehicle was parked out in the lot.
There's something wrong here, Tom. I know this girl. This isn't like her.
There's no doubt in my mind that something bad has happened here.
With no sign of Katie in her car, Chief Heaton widens his search to the nearby truck stop.
I was looking at the trucks thinking maybe someone had taken her into one of the trucks.
Morning. Just catching a little shut-eye, eh? We're out here on a search for a young girl. She was missing a couple hours. We're a little concerned something bad may have happened to her. Mind if we go back and take a look in the back of your truck?
I looked through his truck and she was not there either. The fact that her car was still there and her purse with her car keys, you wonder, where did she go?
"19-year-old Katie Poyer is an independent young woman.
Okay.
But in some ways, she's still the baby of the Poyer family.
Because I work tonight.
She would come home, do, laundry, borrow money, steal the food, typical college kid type thing.
I think they'll be perfect.
She was in the law enforcement program at a community college.
So with the back,
She wanted to be a conservation officer in Montana. She loved the mountains.
that kind of looks like mine, eh? That's
Soon to be married to her partner of 2 years, Mark Wilson. The Poyers' little girl is growing up fast.
make them look good too. I don't want to be one of those
They
brides.
knew that Mark loved Katie, so I think in their eyes that was fine.
The day Katie vanished, she and her brother Patrick had a typical big brother, little sister phone call.
Hey Pat, what's up?
I had called my parents to tell them, when I was going to be home, and Katie answered the phone, and she said that, she was doing laundry, and I said, well, if you moved out, you should maybe do this somewhere else.
Still annoying. Okay, well I gotta go to work. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
She hung up the phone.
Jeez, come down with the floor.
It was give some, take some type of relationship.
Thanks, Mom.
She was always going to be my kid sister.
Love you guys. Bye.
She was never going to grow up for me.
With no sign of Katie at the gas station, a police officer heads to her apartment. Katie's fiance, Mark Wilson, answers the door.
They said, where have you been? When was the last time you saw her? Where did she go? What time did she have to go to work?
Mark claims to have no idea where Katie is. The news she's missing leaves him shaken to the core. Chief Heaton expands the search for Katie.
All units, be advised to be on the lookout for Katie Poyer. 19 years old, last seen at the Mini Mart on Line 35.
He knows in missing persons cases, the first hours are the most crucial.
We started a search in Moose Lake and then panned further out. I checked the state park, which was in close proximity, but there was no evidence of her being in any of the places I looked.
Katie's disappearance is a mystery. With time running out, investigators turn to a witness that may hold all the answers. Surveillance cameras. 4 of them covering the store interior.
The videotape shows you exactly what happened.
Chief Heaton contacts the store manager to retrieve the video footage. Will one of these cameras reveal what's happened to Katie Poirier? "19-year-old college student Katie Poirier has disappeared while working the graveyard shift at a local gas station convenience store. All hopes of finding her rest on what's been caught on camera.
We started looking just prior to the last cash register transaction.
Immediately, investigators have a problem.
It was a poor video. It was a black and white, and it was grainy.
The video was set up in a way that we're dealing with 4 pictures on one screen.
Despite its limitation, the video is investigators' best hope. At 11:11 p.m., the camera catches Katie alone, cleaning up. At 11:32 p.m., she then disappears out of camera range into the storeroom. Everything looks normal. Until 1 minute later, at 11:33 p.m. That's when a man enters. For 3 minutes, the customer roams the store.
She's made aware that there's somebody else in the store, and she comes out into the camera view area, and she has a conversation with the subject.
You reckon they know each other?
Body language is friendly enough.
I think it's possible she could have known the person because they did engage in a conversation.
Unfortunately, the video didn't have audio to go with it, so we don't know the context of the conversation that took place.
There was nothing whatsoever that would indicate that she was nervous or there was anything out of the ordinary.
He exits the store, and she continues back into the area that she had been prior to him coming in.
But the customer's not gone for long. 10 seconds later, he's back.
He had been outside. He came back into the store and made his way to that area where she was.
They both disappeared from view.
Out of range of all 4 cameras. Investigators have no idea what's happening. All they can see is an empty store. Until the man re-enters the frame.
My God, look at that.
With Katie Poirier by the neck. Marching her out of the picture.
I've never seen anything like this before.
The next thing you see is the male suspect with his hands around Katie's neck, and he's pushing her out the door.
He is behind her, and he's got something around her neck. It looked like some knotted up cord. It made me feel sick to my stomach. There was no doubt that she was being taken against her will.
You fear for her safety when you see what he's doing.
The terrifying abduction has been caught on camera. What happened next, no one knows.
On most abductions, bad things happen in a very short period of time.
The video is clear enough to tell investigators what happened to Katie, but it's too grainy for them to ID the suspect.
Were we frustrated by the quality? Absolutely, we were frustrated.
The video only shows them the basics.
He appeared to be of normal build, and he had some kind of a sweatshirt on.
We're thinking that we were dealing with somebody who was the white male, in their mid-20s to maybe early 30s. We knew that Katie was about 5'2", that he stood a good head above her.
Although the video doesn't reveal the man's identity, it does help investigators eliminate potential suspects.
The first person of interest is going to be that victim's love interest.
In this case, Katie's fiancé, Mark Wilson.
But Mark didn't fit the description at all.
He's the wrong build. Police have gone from one suspect to none. Unaware until now that Katie has been missing, word of her abduction reaches her family.
What the hell, Mom? About 2 a.m., my mom came into my bedroom screaming that somebody had taken her.
Who is her, Mom? Who is her?
And when I asked who her was, she couldn't speak. My father then came into the room and I said, who is she talking about? And he said, somebody has taken your sister. Words really can't describe the way that you feel. You're helpless. My parents left the house to go to the store, to the police station. I stayed home in case she was going to call.
With each tick of the clock, Katie's family become more and more distraught.
My parents came back. The only thing that I was told was your sister was taken and go find the who did it.
19-year-old college student Katie Poirier has been abducted from the gas station where she works. And it's all been caught on camera. Police know what happened, but not who did it.
Hi, I'm Detective Hoda.
Hi.
The next morning, Agent Phil Hodap questions Katie's co-worker, Kathy Hannick. a convicted sex offender named Donald Blom. It was one of the very first truck leads investigated.
His wife had told us that the truck had been sold and that the truck was white in color.
Records show that Blom owns 2 pieces of property. Police head out to search them and look for Donald Blom.
The gut response was, this is our guy.
In Richfield, officers gain entry to his primary residence.
When the investigators went into that house, they did not find Katie.
Donald Blom and his family are also nowhere to be seen.
But when they got into the garage, they find the black pickup truck and the license plate that matches the description that Kathy Honeck gave me on the very first day.
Police are positive that Donald Blom is the kidnapper. Now, all hope turns to his trailer home near Moose Lake. If Katie's still alive, is this where he's holding her captive?
We had really hoped that he was holding her hostage at the property.
We were prepared we might have to engage Blom. The element of surprise is key in a situation like this. The main entry team secured the trailer very quickly.
There's no sign of Katie or Donald Blom. The entire property is meticulously searched for clues.
We decided to search the fire pit.
Among the ashes, Dale Heaton makes a gruesome discovery.
It appeared to be a human tooth. So at that moment, it came to me that this is probably Katie's.
The evidence is sent away for forensic analysis. After a statewide manhunt, detectives locate Donald Blom in northern Minnesota. He's quickly arrested. Witnesses, including Kathy Honeck, are asked to ID him.
They asked him to say,
"Are you done for the evening? Done for the evening?"
That's him. That's definitely him.
I knew immediately when he walked in that door that it was him.
After he determined that Kathy was closing up and leaving, he left and ensured that she was leaving.
Blom changes his clothes, then returns to the gas station an hour and a half later.
I think he went and did surveillance on the store and waited for the store to be unoccupied by any other customer. He went in the store, made sure no one was in there. And he grabbed her and took her away.
He did indicate that after he got to the property and pulled up to his trailer house, he took her out of the truck and she put up a fight.
Just help me.
Choked her and killed her. Okay, can you explain how you choked her?
No, just my hands.
Just your hands. And what was she doing while you were choking her?
My dad was kicking her, I think, or something.
That he just choked her until she died.
After that happens, what do you do?
I threw her body in a fire pit. Started firing.
That's all he admitted to, basically.
Donald Blum never explains his motive. But he's a registered sex offender, and it isn't hard to conclude that Katie Poirier was simply his latest victim. Forensic analysis proves the tooth in Blum's fire pit belongs to Katie Poirier.
I'm sorry to be the one to bring this news to you guys.
He looked at my mom and dad first and said, Donald Blum has confessed to murdering your daughter, then looked at me, your sister. As soon as he said it, I don't remember hearing anything else.
On August 16th, 2000, Donald Blum is sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder of Katie Poirier. The star witness, surveillance video.
There was nothing to connect Katie to Donald Blum other than that video.
I have her in my life every single day. I have 4 children, 3 of which are daughters. Each one of those daughters has a trait, I believe, of my sister.
As a result of Katie's murder, a new bill is passed known as Katie's Law. It allows agencies to better track sex offenders across the state.
People's lives have been saved because she was killed.